Hello, Craftin' buddies. It's Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I'm coming to you on Sunday, September 14th at 11:48 p.m. And we're going to punt today because I can't find the stamp set that I thought I was going to play with tonight, which is just really weird because I thought I saw it the other day and now it's out of reach. So I'm pulling out the Painterly Pears because we haven't played with that for a while. And I'm waiting for my device to catch up with me. We'll see if it does. I might have to go find it. There we go. All right. I have sound, so my wireless mic is working. That's a good thing. We'll try to follow comments if anybody joins me live. Just getting my other device up here. Hey, Juju. Welcome. Sound and pick check. Thanks. Yeah, it was a struggle today. I've been kind of straightening up in my studio because, yes, you see pears. Um, I'm having a scrapbooking get together tomorrow with one of the gals on my team for a virtual album retreat that we did in July. She couldn't do it live, so she's coming over so I can help her get caught up on her stuff. So I was kind of straightening up the studio because it's really not presentable right now because I've got piles of stuff everywhere. And the stamp set that I was going to use, I can't even think of what it's called, but I can't put my hands on it. So I thought, well, we'll pull this out and see where it goes. I wanted to try a little fun fold, and I was grabbing some papers because I really need to make an anniversary card for my son and daughter-in-law, and I wanted to use some different paper, and it wasn't coming together. So I thought, we're scrapping that. We're just going to go find something else. So what color do you think we should play with? Darling Duckling, Secret Sea, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, or Petal Pink? Those are the main colors in this designer series paper. And we're going to need a 6x6 piece of cardstock. I'm going to put some of these little pieces back in here. And this is really a fun little fun fold. It's actually from Karen Titus from about 3 years ago. I saw somebody else do it and they gave credit to Karen Titus. So I went and found Karen's video on it, and I am pretty sure it's from 3 years ago. So we're going to do that. So if you want to grab a 6x6 piece of designer series paper, if you've got a pattern paper, whatever you have, this doesn't belong in here. The pink. Alrighty, and I am going to score it at 5.5. With the olive, yeah, we could probably work that out. So I'm going to score, what am I doing here? 5.5. We're scoring. Yep, Old Olive. And then I may actually use this paper here because that's got that color combination in there. And then I'm going to go 4.25, and we're going to cut it. And let's just move my trimmer out of the way. I'll set one of those aside because I don't really need both of them. And I'm thinking we're going to be one and done tonight. We're going to punt. We're going to see where this thing lands. And then I'm going to call it a night. We're just going to do one card, I think, because it's been a weekend. And I need to get started early tomorrow to finish cleaning my studio space. So I think what I will do is, well, that's kind of fun. Let's do a little layer of the old olive. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this at 5.5, but I'm gonna trim it down. I just want it to be a card base size. And I'm gonna do this instead of 4 1/4, I'm gonna go to 4 1/8. And then I'll just trim this down. Yeah, we'll see. It'll work out. It's only paper. If we don't like it, we just get a different piece of paper. All right, so I do like this color combination. So we could do this, and then I wonder if we could do a few strips. We might come back to the front. Or, there's this piece too. I'm just I feel if I use the pink, it's definitely going to go to a female, which is fine. Oh, this one I'm going to use. I might use this one for a scrapbooking page. I don't know. But this would make really easy. You could make 6 card fronts out of that. So I might just scrap the scrapbooking idea. Get it? Oh, you hope that works out with me only making 1 card. Yeah, we'll see. I've tried that before, and then we usually get going with something else. That's kind of fun, but that doesn't have any of the pink in it. This does. There's a lot going on there. That could work. And then we'll put a sentiment on the front of here. Let me just cut this down and we'll see if we like it. So we're going to do 5 1/4 and 4. And that'll be a nice little layer here. We'll see how that looks. It looks good. It's always better when it's just in the sizes you need, right? And then I actually am dropping paper all over. I actually have a pear cut already, I think. Let me find. It might be in the dies. I do. I have a pear cut already. That might be fun. Because we can. No fussy cussing tonight. Because that's what the die. And I think what I could do is do a circle on that. Maybe with the Spotlight in Nature dies. I got a lot of stuff going on here. All right, so let's move this. And I like that. So now all I have to do is find the piece that I want for the fun fold, which is going to go inside. We could use that same paper, but that's going to be a lot of the Darling Duckling. We could do this, or maybe this one. No, because that's got pears that need to be cut out. Sometimes, dang it, because you were going to suggest I cut a pear or two. Yeah. What if I'm going to use this one? This will be a nice complement for the inside for the little fun fold piece. So I'm just going to cut this to 6 by 6. I didn't get any kind of message, and I didn't text Fifi tonight either to see if she was going to come hang out with us. All right, so I kind of like those. And in fact, I think what I'll do is do the circle in this paper. Let's get those Spotlight on Nature dies. And let's find a good circle. That would probably be pretty good around there, huh? Or one that's a little bigger. This one would be quite a bit bigger. That would cover up a lot of the card. So I think I'm going to go with the smaller one. We'll see how that looks. And let's pull out our little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So how was your weekend, Juju? This is... I have to cut this down too, or it won't fit through my little machine. Oh, and I should probably zoom this in a little bit too, huh? Hello, Sala. Ooh, what's for breakfast? You rested because you didn't have to work? That's great. We had a family gathering yesterday, which was mid-afternoon into the evening, but not super late in the evening, but late enough that the mosquitoes were problematic. Okay, I think that's all I need to do with that. Sally, we're just punting with a card today again. So this will kind of go here. And then I've got my 6x6. I'm done with this. I'm going to get rid of all of this other paper so that you guys can actually see what we're working on. And then I'll try to scroll this in or zoom it in a little bit. Right. My watch keeps making noise, which I'm not used to. And I have to figure out how to clear some of these things too, so that all my messages don't show up on my screen on my watch. My phone did an update, and I think that's why it's doing it. All right, so you like the pear chaos? Yeah. So basically what we've got is a card base that's scored at 5.5, 4.25 here, but 11 actually inches long, with a hot dog fold, a layer, another layer of DSP, a focal background, and a focal point. We'll do the sentiment in a minute or two. And then I have a 6x6 piece of paper that's going to coordinate with the stuff on the front. So let's kind of scoop this stuff up. And I am going to get these other pieces of cardstock out of the way. I am going to cut another piece 6x6. I think I'm just going to cut this one down so I can, you might want to see that fun fold twice. You might not, but if you do, then at least I'll be ready for you. All right. So these can all go out of the way, right? Yes. All right. So this fun fold, Sally, you came in late. So this is actually a fun fold from another demonstrator here in Wisconsin. She's what we call up north. And it's Karen Titus. So I think we're gonna, she's got a story that she tells with this too, but I just kind of wrote my notes because I thought it was a fun fold. And we might need some other papers for the inside. I don't think she put any on the inside, but we'll see. So we're going to take this 6x6, and you can do this in smaller or bigger sizes too, because the concept is the same. It's just you would have to adjust the size of your card. Okay. So we're doing 6 by 6. We're going to go and make a taco. And you want the side that you want to be able to see, you want to be looking at that right now. Okay. So this is the side I want to show. So we are going to make a taco. So corner to corner. And then we're going to open it up and we're going to turn it and we're going to make a taco with the other corners. And she somehow turned this into like, I don't know, some kind of story. I don't even remember the story. Camping or something. Yeah, Karen Titus, she's really a sweet woman. And her, excuse me, and her husband, Tim, is very supportive and involved in her business as well. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to open this up with the side that we don't want to see facing up. And we're going to make a hot dog. So when I took notes for myself, and they're somewhere here, I don't know what I did with them. I'll leave my little thumbs up here. If you like my video, you can give me a thumbs up and share and hearts or whatever. All right, I don't know where my note went. I'm glancing around, but who knows? All right, so then you make a hot dog, okay? And then we're going to make a tent. So we're going to, actually we want it this way. Yes, we want it this way. All right. So this is our little tent, basically. So again, the side that we don't want showing later is what we're going to see. Okay. So we're just going to burnish these little puppies. All right. And it doesn't have to be exact perfect according to Karen. It'll work out. And I only did this fun fold part. I didn't actually put it in a card after I was watching it. All right. So now we're going to make a house because it's probably good to be able to eat in a house. So we're going to take one of the corners and we're going to fold it to where the middle is. All right. So if you look, oh, I was going to zoom this in. I'm sorry. There, hopefully that's good. So you're going to take one of these corners and you're going to fold it to where the middle is. And again, it doesn't have to be super perfect. Haven't Karen and her husband made crafting videos together? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's very supportive in her business and he works with her. He's probably her supporting demo because it has to be a spouse. But he's on the videos. I don't watch other demos a lot just because I don't have time. And then I don't necessarily want to steal their ideas either and just case things. I like looking at what they're doing, but I don't want to be swayed and tempted to just copy a card. So I don't watch a lot of them. But like this one, something showed up and I saw it and I clicked into it and the woman gave Karen Titus credit. So we're doing this to all of those loose corners in case you hadn't noticed. All right. So now we have a house. All right. So there's the roof and the walls. But I don't have, my house doesn't do this. So what we're going to do is you're going to kind of lift this up and you're going to fold those sections in. All right. So fold that section in and then flip it over. And we don't want these loose ones here. And actually, Sally, that you have a pretty good memory because you were right on the money there. All right, so here's our little house. And I'm just going to burnish those a little more. Now, one thing I did that Karen didn't do is this is kind of how it's going to look. All right, and again, This is what I want to be my inside, that side. So just futz with it if you need to until you figure out where you want it to be. And if you've done the fold a couple of times, you'll get it. All right. This is kind of bulky, or it could potentially be bulky depending on what you put on the front of your card. So what I wanted to do is when this opens up in my card, I'm going to cut off these 4 corners because I want it to look more like not a square. We'll just say that. Now, when I tried to fold these either in or back, it made it a lot thicker. And I didn't like how that worked with the card. So what I'm doing here is these creases here, I'm just putting on my track. So whatever kind of trimmer you have, line it up or just take your scissors. If you're a pretty good slicer with your scissors, you can go ahead and just slice off those corners, or you can leave them on there. It doesn't matter. And I guess it kind of takes it to about, the point would go to about the 1 inch mark, if that helps to give you a landmark. Sometimes I try to line it up that way so that, like this paper, it's kind of hard to see those score marks. Yeah. All right, so we're done with that. All right, so what we're going to do now is here's our little fun fold. So now you can see how I changed it up just a little bit. All right. And then we're going to move these things out of the way. And we're going to put this in here. This is going to become our card. So I think what I want to do is maybe put my white. I think I'm going to do 2 white layers so that, because you're not going to have a whole lot of room to write. Oh, we're going to go this way. Oh, man. That's right, because we want this flat spot for the inside sentiment. So we're going to be going this way. So I'm going to have to cut another piece of this so that it goes up and down. Whoops. It's all right. At least I caught it now, right? So, this kind of goes every which way. So this actually could still work. I'll just put it like this, maybe. Of course, that pear is sideways. I'll just cut another one. So this was 4. We'll do 5 1/4. Take this one out. This one will go like this. This will come on here. This will come on here, and we'll get our sentiment on there. And that'll go on here, and then we'll flip it like this. All right. So again, I think I want to have a white piece here and here so that we have more room to write if we want to. And I think rather than full sheets, I might just take a layer, if I have one here handy. Of course I don't. I didn't plan for that. I will get some white cardstock. And what I want to do is probably go to 2 3/4 maybe. Oops. Because if we've got 5 1/2, so 2 1/2 plus another quarter, so 2 3/4. So I'm just going to cut 2 of these, 2 3/4. And then those we'll be able to put here and here, and I'll need to trim them down. I think we need the old olive in the inside too, don't you think? So I might have to cut these down a little bit more. Let's get some more old olive going here. So my layers are going to make it a little thicker too, but it is what it is. So we're going to do 4 1/8. I'm going to do 2 3/4. And that should be 2 3/4. So that'll go there and there. Did you have a good weekend, Sala? And then we're going to take these pieces and we're going to cut them down to 4. And then this one to 4 also. And then instead of 2 3/4, I think if we go to 2 1/2. I'm going to put just a little mark on here. Math is hard right now. So I need to go to an 1/8 inch below 2 3/4. So that'd be 2 5/8. All right. So let's go ahead and put these together so we can get rid of some of the moving parts. Yeah, my weekend was busy. We did family stuff yesterday and some today. Today we went over and kind of helped clean up from the celebration yesterday. And then I was baking all Friday night and yesterday morning. And then today I baked a little bit more because I made some sourdough peanut butter cookies. Just scooch this up just a little bit. I could probably trim just a little sliver off of that because it's not quite centered. Yeah, I lost it from all the sourdough. I did a little bit of straightening. I'll do more in the morning. My the gal from my team is supposed to come over at 1. Noon or 1. I think is what I have on my calendar. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and put these in here, but I'm going to do happy anniversary in here, I think. And I'm going to do Mossy Meadow. But at least I'm not fussy cussing. Juju is going to make me fussy cut. All right, let's glue this in. Oh, Fall Fair Market. We have county fairs here or vendor markets, craft fairs, bakeries, crafters. Yeah, we usually call those either vendor fairs or craft fairs. Ooh, I almost put that in there. Now, I would not have picked out these colors either. The petal pink and the old olive. That is just not a color combination that is something I would have grabbed off the shelf. Remember the top here? Yeah, I think I'm all right. If not, I might be making one more card, huh? All right. This will go in here. And in fact, before I put this piece in, I think I want to do the front. Let me close. No, we're going to do this other sentiment because I've got Sending warm wishes. And we'll do that in the Mossy Meadow too. I think I need to re-ink my Mossy Meadow. Because it almost looks like a little ombre going on there. But that's okay. All right, now I could also put a couple little flowers on here because I did pull out flowers. And I'm going to do Secret Sea. Or am I? I might have to fussy cut those. Let's just stamp those over here. And then I need to go get the Darling Duckling ink because I want to put some flower centers on those. Yes, Juju. I love that description of her. All right, so let's put some flower centers here. Try to line this up. I started lining it up based on the picture on the front of the stamp case because to me it wasn't super obvious. But on the stamp case, so here's the 3 flowers and then here's the centers. You know, you could just use that for splatter too, but that's actually the centers on the flowers. So let's go ahead and close up the ink first. And I'm going to slice this. I guess that's pretty good there. And then let's just see how this looks here. Let's go ahead and glue this on. At least when I'm zoomed it does cover or conceal the mess that's on my crafting table. Juju, I think you were talking about that yesterday or the day before in your video. It's just one of those things that when you're doing creative things, you get a mess going on. So you got to have all the things out, right? Probably could have cut that one a little bit smaller. And we didn't even have time for my granddaughter to craft with me or do a video. She usually likes to do videos with me. A lot of times she'll come over and she'll say, Grandma, can we do a video? She's 7.5. If you haven't seen her video, she's pretty funny. And she's getting more comfortable doing them. And, you know, the first few times, I mean, it's not like she's shy by any stretch of the imagination. She's a hoot. But I would have to tell her to, like, be quiet because she would just go off on tangents and talk crazy kind of stuff. So that's kind of big. I don't like it that big. And I don't want to fussy cut it. So we're going to see if we can trim it down a little bit here. I might have to fussy cut though. I don't know. I think that'll be okay. No, I kind of like it on top. Normally I would put these things up on dimensionals, but because this fun fold is going to be on the inside, it's going to be kind of bulky. So I don't really think I want more bulk, you know? All right, so let's go ahead and fussy cut these flowers out because I think that'll Make Juju happy. The color combination tonight is courtesy of Juju. She picked them out. And I like them. Of course, I started because I pulled out all the colors that were in the designer series paper. So there are only a few choices available. And I did end up finishing one of the cards from last night, getting everything glued together. And I actually added some of the metallic rub-on element, I guess, embellishment, whatever. All right. So I think if I put this here, it's going to kind of take away some of that big white spot. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on because I think that's all right. Right, so I'm just going to plop that on there. There-ish, I guess. And this we'll just put here. That'll be fine. And we just want to get to the inside. Oh, you know what I did? I'm going to have to put a new white layer in here because I stamped it this way instead of this way. It just occurred to me. All right. And then we can put some of the gems. There's some really pretty gems that go with this. So you'll have to decide if we want, Sally, this could be your choice. The Darling Duckling, the Mossy Meadow, or the Secret Sea. And then I have to cut another piece of white because I messed up. And I'm just going to put that right on top of there. So that's good there. And we went 2 3/4 minus 1/8, if I recall correctly. And I'm not even going to pull. Oh, is that what you were saying about the top? I get it now. Oh, I cut that too small. Figures. I was just not following along. I was thinking you meant the top like here, but you meant, yeah. So I should put the happy anniversary there. But now we already, oh, I didn't, here, we'll do this. We'll just turn that because I didn't glue the front on yet. Whew, saved by slow gluing. Now I need to cut another piece. And I don't know if I want to try to peel this up or not. Yeah, that's the pitfall of not having sound from the audience, right? And if it weren't for the inside fun fold, I would have just left that there and glued it on top. But I think it's gonna use, I love the yellow ones. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, sometimes I lose track, out of sight, out of mind. Squirrel. I get distracted and I forget what we were talking about. So Juju, I wasn't really ignoring you. I just wasn't paying attention. All right, so I think this should be pretty good. Now I just have to get this to be the right size. So I guess I should get a ruler. Reverse collage. Ah, there you go. All right, so I want this paper to come off my finger. All right, so I want two, I guess maybe that was 2 and 5/8. And I must have done 2 and 3/8. So 2 and 5/8. Well, I suppose I could have measured that one easier. So 2 and 5/8 by 4. All right, let me get another piece of white. See, this is probably a good thing that I'm only going to do one card, huh? You guys would be tired of watching me make mistakes. Yeah, it's all part of the creative process. I try not to let it bother me. So I think I said 2 and 5/8. Yeah, that looks right. So yeah, that'll work. All right, so this is going to go like this. Let me get my debris out of the way. And let me get the happy anniversary again. Little sticker went sideways. Do you ladies do anything for World Card Making Day? All right. I'm going to put that right in the center. I know, right? Like happy accidents, they turn out better. I figure if I have this in here, it'll help me hopefully get it straighter. All right. Now we'll glue this in completely. Alrighty. All right, so that's better. Let's go ahead and glue this on the top of here now. That was luck that I hadn't put that on here. Okay, just make sure. At least I didn't have to start all over. Yeah, so the kit for World Card Making Day, I think is going to be pretty fun. It's the card box and a bunch of cards as well. If you're getting it from Stampin' Up, obviously. Play along with Craft Roulette. Oh, they have a yearly event too, huh? Okay. All right, so yellow. Let's do have a nice big one down there. That's probably good, right? Or do we need a couple more? All right. Now comes the fun. So This, we're going to line up here. And you don't want the point all the way in to the fold. You kind of want it just like right on the edge of it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on this side. And some people use tear and tape because when they've got, you know, cards with movement like this, they say it works better because it's a really strong adhesive. I still like the glue. All right, so we're going to lay this down here. And I'm going to try to have this centered as best I can. Now, I could have used a bigger square, like maybe even 7 by 7 would have worked. Hopefully that's centered. And I'm just going to close this down on it. Okay. I'm going to let that set for just a second here. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. And I like to try to get the glue as close to the edges as I can. And let's hold this down. And now we're just going to close this. And that's the easiest way I know to get those movement components attached to the card. There's a way, any way you can make it go flat to attach them, the better. All right. So there's our little fun fold. Now, this will not quite go flat when they open it. And that's something with fun folds like this that I haven't figured out why. Well, part of this is maybe I should have had it closer into the corner, but I think that's fine. And I was actually going to put something in here. So maybe we'll just find a couple more pears. There's some pears from the designer series paper. Because I was actually going to put a little circle on here and put the happy anniversary in there, but you know, whoops, messed that up too. So let's find the paper that these pears are from. Nope. Not that one either. Here, that's from that one. I'm actually going to do it from right here. All right. Little Betsy, come up. We'll just add a little fun stuff on the inside instead of the words there. Oh, shifted. Could use a little washi tape, but what's the challenge of that, right? There we go. Where's the adventure? Okay. Now let me move all of these little pieces again. There are stamps for the dies. So here's the stamp set. So this is a 2-step. So you get the outline and then you get the kind of the pixelated inside that you can do for the pears and for the leaves. And then there's just a little splatter thing too, and then those few sentiments. So yeah, the dies are usable long after the paper is gone. So there have been times where, maybe I haven't liked the paper. So I've only gotten the stamps and the dies in the past, not so much now, because usually if I see something, I figure I may as well just get the whole set because it's going to be cheaper for me to just get the whole set than to buy it piecemeal. But there's a couple of flourishes too. So like this die, hopefully you can see that pretty well. This die will cut out 5 flowers. And then this one cuts out a cluster. So these are all individual flowers. And then this would be a cluster that would stay together. This is basically just like a texture piece. So you could either cut it out of a layer and have it like a peek through, or you can cut this out of a different piece of, a different color, or even tone on tone, and that would just add texture to your card. And then there's a couple of little, like this label die will fit friend and hello, and this label die will fit congratulations and thank you. But there's not a label die for this one. Yeah, and I really like the leaves on this one too. I've used those leaves a lot, even when I'm not doing the pears, because it's just a pretty piece, because there's basically embossing for one side of the leaf, and then it cuts out the whole thing with the branch. So it's a very pretty set. And the paper, I didn't think I would be that fond of because the Darling Duckling is really bright. And then that one piece is really dark, but I really like it. All right, so we can just put that in there. But now I should have had words in there. So maybe I'll put that up there and let's see. Sending warm wishes, happy anniversary. Let's see what else. I could do like congratulations down here. I should just have something in there, or maybe I should find some other pieces to put in there. I'm going to glue those pears in because I'm going to have to put something else here. What's the purpose of having the fun fold in there? I was just not thinking this through all the way. So maybe I should put a little texture piece in there. So this can go in here. And then I could do a texture piece. Let's cut that out over there, just see what it looks like. We'll do it out of the designer series paper and see if it looks worth putting on there. It might not. Yeah, having put the words up there, up on top, kind of defeated the purpose of having that little fun fold in there. But it's kind of a fun little like explosion card, you know? It's fun. We'll just fill it up with stuff, that's all. We'll figure it out. We might do something more. Maybe a bunch of those little flowers, maybe. I might have to use my take your pick tool. There we go. There. It didn't get all the little bits out, but it got most of them out. Well, that would be kind of pretty maybe with more pears, huh? Uh, Of course, we could do we could do this leaf piece too. And then let's find I wonder if the big pear, we could probably do the big pear and a leaf. There is a die for these too. These pieces. Oh yeah, you could turn it into a money card really easy. These go here. So it's just this one design. So you've got 2 sheets of this that will cut out these pieces. I'm just going to use washi tape to put these down since I'm using several. And then this one. They're going to overlap, so I'm going to have to do this. I'll just do it this way. And I'll get out my big machine. But this will just, it gives you an idea and you can kind of do your own thing. All right. Let's see if I've got, oh, here. And we'll do this with that piece. All right, let me get my big machine out. Bossy Bessie to the rescue. We'll see how that looks. So with the regular dies in this machine, we just need the base plate, the shim, and then the 2 cutting plates with your die and paper in between. That looks kind of fun. And I could trim that down into 2 pieces. We'll see. I might use that. We might not. Who knows? And then put this other piece through. Whoops. I love those machines that they fold in like that. The old Stampin' Up! Machines didn't do that. Okay. And I'm going to put those dies in here so I don't lose them. Little magnets. Oh, and then my flowers didn't cut all the way through because I had it off the edge of the plate. Oh, and the pear didn't either. Way to go, Lori. I'm just batting 1,000 tonight, huh? All right, we'll just finish fussy cutting. At least it's not too much. These will go on here. We might not even use these flowers. But at least they'll be ready just in case, right? I should have paid closer attention to where my die was sitting on that bottom plate. Let go. All right. So let's see what we want to do here. So this pear could actually go over the edge. So that that stem could go here. I'll just have to do it kind of sideways maybe. I might have a lot going on in here. Might be a little hokey, huh? Oh well. I suppose we don't even really need this texture piece. We could stick it under there. I could actually cut it in half. Have some come out each side. I think there's a fence behind it. Or trellis. Does that work? Hopefully. I should have thought this through a little bit more, hey? How's that? And we probably don't need the flowers. Or I could put the flowers on there. Yay or nay? So that's a cute little front card front. I think that's all right. With the texture pieces, I think kind of helps set that pear aside, you know, lifts it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put those down, I think. Whoops. These would probably be good pieces to use adhesive sheets on. Yeah, one way or another, we'll get it done, right? So this is going to be here-ish. Have that there. Phew. Good thing I'm only doing one. Is that what you're cheering for, Juju? That we're only doing one? Yay. So I'll go like that. And I'm just making sure these leaves go in line with that score line there. It's kind of fun. Looks like I didn't quite have it centered. It's like I'm a little crooked. Oh, okay. Yay or nay on the big pair. See, my iPad's a little delayed, so I can't always see when the comments are coming in right when they happen. So by that time, my brain is already a couple of comments ahead. Yeah, the first one does always take more time. So do we want flowers? Those actually kind of work there, huh? We could do them up there, or we could do them down here, or we could not do them at all. Thank you, Sala. So, flowers, do you think? I kind of like that up there. What do you think? Like it's hanging in a tree. Let's give it some glue. I cut it out. I may as well use it, right? Lower right? Okay. Consider it done. All right. Fun. So who's going to try this fun fold? Oh, and this has to get pushed back in. There we go. I wondered why I had a piece hanging out there. Also, there's a delay for you too, huh? Well, true. Well, I might be confused other times, not just when I'm waiting for comments to come in. Oh, yeah, it does help balance the card out. Mm-hmm. So who's going to try this fun fold? Anybody? I think I like it. It's fun. But the one thing with this is, I like cards that they can actually display. So I had thought when I was first playing around with this scrap that I was working on, I thought I would make it go this way and then just try to keep my head in order so that my design is appropriate for a hot dog card, right? Hot dog. All right. So that's all I've got tonight, ladies. That took almost an hour. Ah, but I think it was worth it. Whoever I give that to is going to like it. I'm sure. All right. So everybody get the how the fold is done. If you didn't, you can always watch the replay. Thanks for popping in with me. I appreciate the company. Thank you for all the hearts. I appreciate that too. And then who's going over by Pam? Sally, do you have to go by Pam? Are you an admin on her page? Did I see that one time when I had popped in? Thanks, Juju. I'm glad you like it. You have to like it though, because you picked out the colors. Oh, well, I'm glad you love it. Yeah, I don't think when you're doing something like this, an hour really isn't that bad because I'm a putsy stamper anyway, so I like to take my time. All right, so you're a mod for Pam, okay. Oh, and you have your own live in 30 minutes. You're busy. Busy woman. Busy, busy. All right, so I will let you ladies and whoever else is watching, because I see there are a few other people that haven't piped in. Thanks for popping by. I appreciate the company. I appreciate the collaboration. Um, and in October, we're going to have Stampin' Up! Has announced they're going to have a really good joining bonus. I have no idea what it is, but I'm looking forward to it. So usually their joining bonus is you basically get $26 worth of product free. But now who knows what it's going to be. I'm kind of excited. So happy crafting, everybody. Thanks for popping in and enjoy the rest of your day.